All right, time to begin the webinar. A very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this last and exciting webinar about study and work in Japan, session 26. This is the last session for the month of September. We will come back again with more such exciting series soon in future. My name is Sakshi Roy and I'm the program assistant here with the University of Tokyo India office, and I'll be facilitating today's webinar. So we are going to start out with a brief introduction about Study and Work in Japan project. So we are the part of Study in Japan Global Network project in Southwest Asia by MEXT, and our aim is to promote studying in Japan in order to attract region's excellent students to higher education and research in Japan on behalf of all Japanese universities through collaboration and networking between overseas regional offices. So following this mission, our Honorable Director, Mr. Miyauchi Yasuyuki, have planned this webinar series in sponsorship with MEX to introduce you to some of the best and the world-class Japanese universities in Japan. We hope that we could be able to assist you with a lot of useful information, and we hope your time with us was worth your while. So without further ado, let me share with you our agenda for today. Okay, so today's webinar is scheduled for 2 hours, and first we are going to see presentation by Mr. Takahashi from UOT Bangladesh office, which will be followed by the presentation by representatives of 4 different Japanese universities, which are Mccann University, the University of Tokyo, Kyushu Institute of Technology, Ochano University. In the last, today we're gonna have special presentation by Japan Science and Technology Agency. So each university and institution will have a presentation time of 20 minutes. And after each presentation, we have a time for Q&A of 5 minutes. So before we jump into the webinar, there are certain rules of the webinar which needs to be followed, which I like to request our attendees and panelists. I request our panelists to please be on mute and switch your videos off when you're not presenting. Also, I would like to request our attendees to please use the Q&A feature, which is available within your Zoom panel for submitting your queries. I'm repeating it again. Please do not use the chat box. Please use the Q&A box for submitting your questions, because we'll be looking into the Q&A box to answer your queries. So without further delay, let's start with the presentation on overview of study and work in Japan by Mr. Ray Takahashi from the University of Tokyo, Bangladesh. Yeah. So Takahashi, I request you to please proceed with your presentation with all of us.
Hello, good afternoon. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay. So please do confirm my screen share is working. Is it visible?
Not now.
Okay. Let me try again. Is it working now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Okay, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. So I am Ray Takahashi, and I'll be giving my introduction in details a little bit later. So today we're going to talk about studying and working in Japan. So the greatest thing about Japan is it doesn't need details introduction, right? Us as South Asians, we love Japan, we love the Japanese culture, we love the Japanese people, and obviously we're always interested. If there's a possibility, we want to go to Japan, we want to study there, and hopefully we want to work there, we want to settle there. All right, so I think that is our everyone's interest, obviously, of all our attendees. That is why you're here. And I'm here to tell you that, yes, it is possible to go to Japan. And we have a wonderful set of panelists here today, and they'll be talking in details and the specifics. What I'm here to do is I'm going to tell you about why Japan is an interesting option, or let's say the most interesting options, us as South Asians, right? why is Japan the #1 option for us? All right. So as I've mentioned before, Japan doesn't need any self-introduction anymore. Japan has one of the highest GDPs, right? It has one of the largest economies. And also, Japan is one of the most peaceful country. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Japanese university systems, right? So the Japanese university systems is basically divided into 3 parts. We have the undergraduate bachelor's, then we also have the graduate master's, and then we also have the doctorals, right? And Japanese universities are divided also in national, public, and also private universities. I think that is somewhat relatable, as it is, we follow the exactly same system in the South Asian countries. Okay, so before going into the details, I would like to pause here and I would like to ask you one thing, is that we love Japan, we love the Japanese culture, we love the Japanese anime, right? And we love the Japanese people. So what is exactly stopping us from going to Japan? So I've worked in the sector for a long time, and the 3 questions or the 3 misconceptions, I would like to rephrase it, is that Japan is expensive. So the tuition fees would be very expensive. I would like to go to Japan, but Japan is expensive. That's the #1 question I get. Another one is, I have to learn Japanese, right? I have to learn Japanese or I cannot go to Japan. That is the second question that I get. And another one is very interesting, is that even if I go to Japan, I have to come back to my own country after my studying is over, because they might not give me the visa. So I'm here to tell you the top 3 questions that I get. I would like to answer you one by one. Is that, as you can see, and the wonderful panelist will also be reassuring you on that, is that Japan is not that expensive. Okay, maybe compared to South Asian countries and our respective universities, yes, it might be more expensive. But if we look at the data, United States and other Europe countries, they're also one of the leading choices for us South Asian students. So if we can afford United States, or if we can afford the Western universities, then I'm here to tell you, as you can see, this is not my opinion, this is the data, right? So if you compare the tuition fees of public universities in United States and Japan, as you can see, the data is overwhelmingly in support of Japan. So Japan is not that expensive. Private, yes, it is a little bit more expensive, but still, if you compare it with the United States universities, yes, so Japan is a lot cheaper, right? So it's a better option for us South Asian students. But there is one thing, is that living expense, the rumors are true, right? This is not a misconception. Living expenses can be expensive in Japan. But I'm here to tell you is that the income is also high compared to the expenses, right? So it gets balanced out. And I'll be talking about it in details later on. So the second misconception that we were talking about is the language barrier, is that if I go to Japan, I have to learn Japanese as a prerequisite for getting admission in Japan. I'm here to tell you is that if you want to go to a country, learning their language will obviously be a plus point. But is it mandatory or is it a prerequisite? The answer is no. There are lots of universities where there are programs offered in English, right? Let me repeat. So there are multiple universities, and the list is increasing day by day. Is the universities, they offer the programs in English, right? And obviously, there are also multiple options for financial assistance, both by the respective universities and also by the Japanese government. Okay, so let's move on. As we were talking about the high income, high expense thing. So obviously, what you have to understand is that even if the expense is very high, your income will be very high as well. So this is not my opinion. This is again data. Your average salary after graduation would be 3.9 million yen per year. So yes, you'll be living a very luxurious life in Japan, right? Even though the expenses are very high, your income will be very high as well. The third misconception is that even if I go to Japan, I have to come back. because they will not give me a visa, right? While this is true for some countries and the list is increasing day by day for some Western countries, for Japan is not necessarily true. The Japanese government wants you to go to study in Japan, and the Japanese government also wants you to get a job in Japan, to work in Japan, right? So visa procurement is actually very easy in Japan. Okay, so now coming back to my introduction. So I was telling you that regarding the specifics and regarding the Kyushu in the respective universities, we have a wonderful set of panelists today. So they'll be talking about the details. What I'm here to do is that I'm actually half Japanese and half Bangladeshi, right? So I'm also one of the South Asian. I consider myself as South Asian. So I've been living in Bangladesh for 20 years, more than 20 years, and I've been working in multiple Japanese projects, right? I've been coordinating Japanese projects in Bangladesh, and I'm also working as a regional coordinator in the University of Tokyo, Bangladesh office. So what it means is that as a South Asian, I can assure you, right? I can assure you is that when you go to Japan, you gain certain skill sets. One is that you are accustomed to the Japanese culture, which is very important for recruiters. You actually know their business manner, which is slightly different. We always talk about that the global standard is somewhere around here, and then above that is the Japanese standard, right? We always talk about it. Japanese are very keen and strict regarding quality and lots of other things, and regarding business ethics. So you actually understand their mindset and the business manner, right? Which is something the recruiters want a lot. So as a South Asian, when you go to study in Japan, right? When you start applying for work, they'll be looking at you as a very potential employee. Why is that? I can assure you is that South Asian countries are now a gold mine, right? For Japanese companies, because lots of companies are moving out into South Asia, especially in the manufacturing, IT, and agriculture, and a lot of different sectors. So when they look at you, they look at you as a very potential employee because you know the local language, you know the local know-hows, and then you also know Japanese and you're accustomed with business manner and language proficiency, right? That makes you a very lucrative, a very attractive employee for the recruiters. So that will be all from my side. And in the end, I just want to conclude by saying that, yes, there are misconceptions, but there are multiple universities in Japan which offers programs in English. Second, it's not that expensive. Third, you can actually get a job in Japan. The Japanese government wants you to work in Japan. And an additional point is that you as a South Asian going to Japan, working there, you're a very lucrative option for the recruiters. So thank you. That will be all from my side.
Thank you, Mr. Takahashi. Thank you for your guidance and for such an interesting presentation. Can you please share the agenda slide again? Okay, we can now move forward to the university's presentation. So first, we'll have the presentation by Mccann University. Before moving forward, I must tell you that Mccann University is well known for its international relations and science and engineering departments and is one of the top private universities in Japan. By the QS World University ranking of private universities in June 2021, Mccann University ranked number 3 in Japan. It has also been named as Japan's #1 university for sustainable cities and communities. So we are pleased to invite Mr. Daniel, administrator at the International Center of Mccann University. Today he'll be sharing with us a useful insight into the university. Mr. Daniel, please proceed with your presentation with all of us.
Yes, Ms. Sakshi, thank you so much for that introduction and those kind words about our university. I feel like you've covered many of the topics that I probably would have forgotten to mention today, so thank you very much for that. So with that, I would like to greet everyone. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's session. My name is Danny. I work at the Mccann University International Center, and I will be giving you a brief presentation about our university today. I also want to mention everything that Mr. Takahashi just said in his presentation is totally true. So please be reassured that yes, Japanese companies do want you. As he mentioned, many Japanese universities, including ours, offer many of our programs in English, which I will be speaking with you about today. So there is no need to learn any Japanese in order to study in those programs. So without further ado, let me see here. Hopefully, there we go. Hopefully you can see my slideshow here. So again, we are Ritsumeikan University, Japan, and today I'm going to be speaking with you about our graduate schools. Today's session is going to be focused on our graduate schools. So just a brief introduction, Ritsumeikan University was founded in the year 1900. So as for Japanese universities go, we're a pretty old university. We have over 36,000 students, making us one of the largest comprehensive universities in Japan. And in total, we have 16 undergraduate colleges and 21 graduate schools. Overall, we have one of the largest bodies of international students across Japanese universities, with over about 2,500 international students total, hailing from 71 countries as of May 2020. Of those, 1,034 are international graduate students, and 266 are enrolled in our English language taught master's and doctoral programs. Of those, we have 54 students from India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, and of course, many other students from neighboring countries as well. 29 of these students, these 54 students mentioned here, are studying at our master's or doctoral level programs. So, Ritsumeikan University, as Ms. Sakshi kindly mentioned, we are definitely a research university. Our graduate school of Science and Engineering, which I'll mention later on, is quite large. I don't want to say the largest off the top of my head right now, but certainly one of the largest in Western Japan for science and engineering. And thanks to that, we are ranked number 3 for grants and aid among private universities in Japan. Being that we're a very large comprehensive university, we have earned that ranking. So we conduct quite a lot of research. Ritsumeikan University offers all manner of student support. Being such a large school, we have basically everything covered. And we have accommodations on or near campus, including international dormitories and other private accommodation, which students can look for at our on-campus housing services. Our students are more than welcome to work in part-time jobs to support themselves while they study in Japan. But as Mr. Takahashi mentioned, Japan is actually fairly affordable, if you're considering study abroad. So, in many cases, you may not need to do any part-time work. So our university is located in Western Japan, in the Kansai area. We have 3 campuses in Kyoto, Osaka, and Shiga. And, it really gives students a great opportunity to see both, the sort of big city life, which is available in Osaka, a major city of Western Japan. The rural life in Shiga. Shiga is home to Japan's largest lake. So there's a lot of outdoor leisure activities, which students, participate in here, whether at the lake or the surrounding mountains. There's a lot to do. And then, of course, everyone knows Kyoto. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. Our Kinugasa campus is located about maybe 15-minute walk, 15 minutes on foot from this pictured Golden Pavilion here. And so, yeah, you get the, beauty and sort of culture of Kyoto, the big city of Osaka, and the sort of regional leisure fun in Shiga. So our campuses, this is just a quick overview so you get an idea of what our campuses look like. This is Kinugasa campus. This is at one of our yearly student festivals. Hopefully, as soon as COVID, calms down and clears up, I'm sure I'm with all of you praying that that happens as soon as possible. But hopefully we can get back to a time where we can have these sort of big events on campus on a regular basis. Yuakoku campus is here. Again, yeah, this picture is taken definitely before the pandemic. We don't have quite so many students on campus every day right now. But yes, this is our Yuakoku campus, and this is Osaka Ibaraki campus, our newest campus located in Osaka. Yeah, there's a public park, which is also a part of the campus right here. So I'll just mention briefly, let me go back a few slides. Between all of our campuses, we have a shuttle bus that runs. So a lot of students will do, different activities, whether it be a club or something, or whether it's just a one-time activity which is conducted on their campus. And so we have a bus that runs between the campuses, which students are free to use, very low cost. And also, even if you're just using public transport, going from our Shiga campus to our Osaka campus, which would be the furthest distance, there's a fast train which runs between those and stops at Kyoto right in between. So yeah, access is extremely good. You can get between the campuses in 30 minutes to an hour. So let me skip back down to here. So Mccann University offers several degree programs taught entirely in English. No Japanese language skill is required. And those would be international relations, policy science, economics, science and engineering, life sciences, information science and engineering, and technology management. Now, technology management is, they only offer their doctoral program taught in English. However, the rest of the programs listed here offer both their master's and doctoral programs taught in English, and several of these programs also offer their undergraduate degrees in English as well. So now, briefly introduce those via some screenshots of our homepage. So this is a look at our international relations homepage, which I'll be taking a look at later on. But international relations, just to give the brief introduction, is broken down into 4 clusters: global governance, sustainable development, culture, society, and media, and global Japanese studies. So students interested in these topics are more than welcome, of course, to study with us. And with the way this program works, generally you would be enrolled or you would be studying courses within one of these clusters, but you're free to take courses from the other clusters as well to give you a more rounded perspective on international relations here. So I'll speak in more detail about the programs provided I have the time later on. But just briefly, this is the faculty list of the International Relations Department page, and I will be showing you this later as an example of how to look up professors at the university. I will mention now that finding a professor who matches your research, I think, would be the #1 thing that you can do to improve your chances of enrollment at the university, and also really to save yourself time. I mean, there's no use in applying to a university if this topic that you want to study, there's no professor who can teach it. So I'll say right now, and I'm sure all the other universities will agree with me, if you're looking to study to school, please take a look at the faculty list before going through the application procedures, and just make sure that there's at least a professor there who's close to your research. In the case of Mccann University, if you can speak with that professor ahead of time and get a sort of informal okay for the supervision of your research from that professor by sending them, by sending them your CV and your research plan through the mail, that's going to be the biggest thing that I think you can do to help your chances with enrollment. So just moving on, as we are quite limited in time today. Next is the Graduate School of Policy Science. So International Relations is located at Kinubasa campus in Kyoto. Policy Science is located at our Osaka Ibaraki campus in Osaka. And Policy Science, here we go, is a unique program, I guess you could say, because it's based around a research project. So each student has their thesis supervisor who supervises their research, but multiple professors and multiple students participate in one joint research project. And so you have a lot of students and professors with sort of different perspectives. And kind of the reason for that, policy science, a lot of students at first mistake it for political science, but actually what our program is policy science. And what policy science is basically trying to use policy to achieve solutions for problems or issues in society. And the goal is to appease as many of the shareholders as possible. So just as I guess a basic example, if a city is growing really large and the traffic becomes a huge issue, oftentimes maybe you need to build another main large road to sort of, allow that congestion to disperse. But if you're going to build a road, this could have all kinds of impacts. If you build a road and it bypasses certain parts of the city, maybe less travel or less commuters go through that part of the city, less money goes into that part of the city. If you're building the road, you need to, buy up a lot of land. There could be environmental problems with this. It could be unsightly. The population of the city could just say, we don't want that, ugly bypass going through the city. It's an eyesore. So there's a lot of individuals with, different perspectives when you have an issue like that. And so policy science tries to come up with a solution to make as many of those people happy as possible, to come up with this sort of best possible answer through policy for these various issues. The course is broken down into public policy, social management, and environment and development clusters. So you have a lot of professors with various backgrounds, international relations, political science, economics, but also environmental engineering, and so on and so forth. So it's a kind of a unique program which is offered. Next is our master's program in economic development. So this is our economics program. It focuses on economic development in places like South Asia, ASEAN bloc countries, former Soviet Union bloc countries, and so on, African countries. And this is just a look at the one of the professors on the faculty list page. But one unique thing about economics is many of the professors have connections with a lot of Japanese manufacturers and large corporations, as well as banks, and the regional community. And this campus, or this program, is located on our Shiga campus, or Byohaku campus in Shiga. And that area, Shiga Prefecture, is sort of manufacturing area with a lot of things being produced and then being sort of exported out from Osaka. And so actually I'll mention later on, but our science and engineering program actually conducts a lot of joint research with many companies in the area. And some of those companies are also companies which these professors have connections with. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because due to that, Shiga has seen a lot of growth in certain regions. And one part of this program with economics that's unique is students get to visit and do a lot of company tours and factory tours of different companies and factories, manufacturers, and so on in the area. And also get to visit and do internships with the local regional, municipal governments of these areas. So a lot of them, sort of called or, opened up to accepting these sort of big manufacturers and stuff to try and help regional development of the area after, population started to decline. And it's been able to, or it's allowed a lot of these towns to really revitalize. And so with economics, one of the great things is you get to go and see the companies, and then you get to go and see the municipalities and learn and sort of understand how the economics of these areas improved through either these manufacturing or through tourism initiatives and so on. And it's a big part of the program. And the students who graduates of our program, all seem to really enjoy that and gain a lot of insight from it. So, it's one thing that's kind of unique to our university, thanks to the unique location of the campus and the connections with the professors. So next up is, as I've run out of time here, Graduate School of Science and Engineering. Again, one of our largest schools, incredibly popular, many applicants, international and Japanese alike. And It covers topics in advanced mathematics and physics, advanced electrical, electronic, and computer systems, advanced mechanical engineering and robotics, and advanced architectural, environmental, and civil engineering. So it's quite comprehensive. The only thing that we don't really cover that sometimes we get asked about is maybe aerospace. We don't do too much research in that area. However, other topics, we pretty much have covered with our science engineering department being such a large one. And this is just an example of some of the courses available in the electrical, electronic, and computer systems course or major. But as I mentioned before, we have some research centers and institutes on campus, and this graduate school is highly involved with those research centers. And those research centers are kind of act as a hub for research. So, for example, in the Shiga area, or Shiga Prefecture, where this college and graduate school is located as well, we have a lot of these manufacturers. And there's a lot of research companies as well. And so one of the things that our research centers will do is conduct, joint research with the university and these different corporations and companies, but also the research centers in this graduate school sort of act as the main hub connecting these different companies. So one company might, specialize in battery technology. One company might specialize in solar technology, and our research center will kind of be the intermediator and bring them together, and create a total product. And so that's something which the students in this program seem to really appreciate. And obviously it's great because they get a lot of access to the various companies in the area, manufacturers and research organizations in the area. And so a lot of our students, go on to intern at such places or indeed work for them in the future. And this is just an example of the faculty brochure available on Science Engineering's homepage. Next is Information Science and Engineering. It's located in our Biwako Kusatsu campus, but we'll be moving to Osaka campus in just a couple of years. And here's a list of the professors. But it covers everything you can imagine we would have in computer science, but from gaming technology to machine learning, AI, robotics, image processing, audio processing. Yes, so this program, the undergraduate program as well, is taught in English. I think, in Japan, information science is still one of the fields where there's not that many universities conducting programs in English. I think today maybe a couple of the universities will be, but I think overall, it's one where still a lot of universities do not offer it in English. So, it's Mccann is one of those which does. So if you're interested in computer science, I highly recommend you look into our university. Next is the Graduate School of Life Sciences. And that's broken down into applied chemistry, biotechnology, bioinformatics, and biomedical science courses. And so if you're, interested in any of these fields, we have you covered. Many of our students go on to work in companies in Osaka. Osaka is a very large city. There's a lot of food manufacturers and chemical manufacturers as well. And so we do a lot of research into, fermentation and so on. And it seems to be, I guess, popular with the local companies. And so, many of our students, thankfully, go on to work in the area. And if you visit the homepage, this goes for all the programs, but, we have student voice pages on each of our graduate schools pages, so you can take a look and see the opinions of some of our students. So just very briefly, our screening process is document screening. You don't need to come to Japan, just apply by sending your application documents through the mail and applying through an online system. There might be an interview over Skype or Zoom, and then you get your results. Generally, you need to submit some essays, your academic transcripts, an English language test score, perhaps a letter of reference, thesis abstract for any thesis you have written, and your research plan, which is, of course, very important. You may want to take a screen cap now. This is, I don't want to go into too much detail, but this is our application schedule. So many of the graduate schools offer multiple application windows. Some of them offer enrollment from both September and April. You can choose whichever works best for you. Now, one thing that some or all students are keen to learn about is scholarships. And with Roots Mccann University, we do have a 100% tuition reduction, tuition waiver scholarship. This is quite competitive, however. So for most students, I think it's more reasonable to think about the 20% tuition reduction scholarship. And that scholarship, basically, after you enroll in the university, we have an application at the beginning of the semester. If you apply via that application and you're enrolled in one of our English language graduate programs, you're automatically granted the 20% tuition reduction scholarship. This can be received in addition to this Seiseki Yushusha, or sort of high academic achievers scholarship, which is a fixed yen deduction of tuition fees, and the amount varies depending on the graduate school, and there's also different levels. So if your GPA from your bachelor's, let's say, was super high, maybe you received the top category amount, so the highest amount. And then if it was, only so-so, maybe you receive a slightly less amount of that award. But yet it's another award which students are potentially granted from the university at the time of admissions. And there's a similar one offered during the second year. This is just a look at our tuition fees in US dollars, roughly. And again, with the automatic 20% tuition reduction on the right side, this is the amount. So, this for yearly tuition fees. And if you've looked at universities, in the US or even, in many European countries, this is going to be considerably less than what you would pay per year for those schools, considerably less, I would say. So I certainly agree with everything Mr. Takahashi said earlier about Japanese universities being actually quite reasonable. So I'm going to run out of time shortly, I think. However, I'd love for you to screen cap this page. I'll be answering questions, of course, during the Q&A 5 minutes, and then afterwards, later on, any which are remaining in the Q&A session, I'll be responding to by chat or by text, rather. However, if you have any questions in the future, I would highly encourage you to send them to our email address, cger-bkc@st.ritsmay.ac.jp. And, it might take a few days before we can get back to you, depending on, how many inquiries we're receiving at the time. But we will get back to you, and we can answer any questions that you have. Yes, so let's see.
So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel, for such an enlightening presentation. We can now move on to the Q&A session for 5 minutes.
Okay.
So there are quite a lot of questions related to Mccann University. So yeah, please look into the Q&A box. Okay,
yes, so let's see. Yeah, there's quite a few. So I'll go through the ones which I think I'll be able to answer quickly, and then I'll answer the rest by typing them out later on. So let's see here. Does Roots Mccann University come under the MEXT scholarship? And then a similar one I see here. Does it have any other scholarship other than MEXT? So first of all, we do, yes, Roots Mccann University is, we do have the MEXT scholarship. You can apply via the Embassy Recommendation Scholarship at your local Embassy of Japan, or you can apply via the University Recommendation Scholarship, which means you would apply directly to the university for a MEXT scholarship. We have it available at the undergraduate and graduate levels for master's and doctoral programs. If you're interested in a scholarship other than the MEXT scholarship, and you just can't afford tuition fees You need to have some kind of other full scholarship in order to apply. I would encourage you to just Google or use whatever search engine you prefer, Mccann University. Go to our homepage here. Go to Admissions and Aid at the top. Go down to Financial Aid right here at the right side. And then they'll give you a list. So, the MEC scholarships are listed here as well. So if you want information on how to apply through those, you can check these out. But if you're interested in other scholarships, we do, have a lot of scholarships available through the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, and also ADB, the International Monetary Fund, and so on and so forth. And then I will mention just, even if you enroll as a self-finance student and you're paying your own tuition fees, you can, again, apply for the 20% tuition reduction. And also, as part of that same application process, you can also apply for a whole bunch of other scholarships, which are offered by, different foundations, which are sort of managed or handled by the university. So that's all one unified application, and the information is actually listed on this page here. But again, if you have any detailed questions about that, please just send me an email at the address I shared earlier. So moving on to maybe another question here.
Can I pick up question for you?
Sure, yeah, if you want to pick one out.
Is there any computer science undergraduate program available at Mccann University?
Yes, so today, I'm actually involved with the graduate programs and as well as scholarships and admissions. And so I only spoke about graduate programs today, but we do have our undergraduate program is available totally in English at the College of Information Science and Engineering. So yeah, we do offer such a program, and it's full of international students. There's also a lot of the professors in that department are quite mixed. Of course, many Japanese professors, but also many international professors as well.
All right. Are there any undergraduate courses in the university, basically in the field of IT?
Yes. So the one that I just mentioned, Information System Science and Engineering, I think is the official name of the program. But yes, our that college does offer that program, and it's about information technology. They cover pretty much everything you can think of in that realm. And yes, it is offered entirely in English.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Daniel. Thank you once again for your presentation and answering all of the questions. You can continue answering the questions while the other universities are presenting. Thank you very much.
All right, will do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So let's look at our agenda slide once again. Now we're going to have the most selective and the most prestigious Japanese university in Japan, the University of Tokyo. The University of Tokyo can be abbreviated as Todai, is Japan's top university, a world-class center for research, and a vibrant academic community. UTokyo has been over 10 faculties, 15 graduate schools, and enrolls about 30,000 students, about 4,200 of whom are international students. So as of 2020, University of Tokyo's alumni, faculty members and researchers include 17 prime ministers, 17 Nobel Prize laureates, 4 Pritzker Prize laureates, and 5 astronauts. So today, from the University of Tokyo, we have Professor Warapong from the Graduate School of Information Science and Technology. He'll be sharing 20 minutes presentation about the university. So
Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Yes, thank you very much for your kind introductions. I am Warapong Sukrit. I am not originally from Japan. I'm from Thailand, and I had a very nice 14 years in Japan. And I wish you to also have these great years in Japan like me. Let me begin my presentation. So first of all, I would like to mention that even though I was introduced as a representation from the University of Tokyo, each graduate school and faculties at the university are quite independent. We have a totally independent admission process, different timing. So I am actually at Graduate School of Information Science and Technologies, which is basically computer science and engineering in the broader sense. What I'm going to talk may not be applied to any other graduate school or faculties. So if you have any questions about any other graduate school or faculties, please forward your questions directly to them. We are independent. We are supporting dependent, actually. Okay, as mentioned by Ms. Saxi, we are one of the most competitive universities in Japan. We are somewhat high in the World University ranking. So in QS World University ranking, we are in the 23rd, and in Time Higher Education's World University ranking, we are at 36th. Okay, now it's time for me to introduce you to our Graduate School of Information Science and Technologies. We are one of the youngest at the University of Tokyo. We have 6 departments, computer science, you know what this is. Mathematical informatics, this is a program that is a hybrid of mathematics and information. Information physics and computing, this is a program that is a hybrid between physics and information. Information and communication engineering, that is a program that is a hybrid between electrical engineer and computer science. It also includes wireless communications and also communication networks. We also have mechanoinformatics, that is a hybrid between mechanical engineering and information, and then creative informatics, which contribute to creative applications of information. You can see over here that even our graduate school's name is Information Science and Technologies. We welcome you even you didn't graduate from Department of Computer Science and Engineering. We welcome you even you are mathematicians. We welcome you even you are physicists. We welcome you even you are electrical engineering, or we welcome you even you are mechanical engineers. I just want to note that because we are graduate school, we accept only master and PhD students. So let me talk a little about education at our graduate school. Even for master course, our courses are research-based. Students are expected to spend most of their time in the lab working on research under the supervisions of our professors. So if you are planning to go further to doctoral course at any doctoral programs in top global university, then our master course will prepare you for those courses. Our students are accepted in many other top university globally. Okay, from this slide, I would like to show you some of our results at the graduate school, our research results at our graduate school.
I have a dream when I was a child. You know, I'm from China, so we are also dreaming of the dragon. I'm Mo Zhao from JSK Robotics Lab in the University of Tokyo, and I'm the...
Oh, sorry.
I have a dream when I was a child. You know, I'm from China, so we are also dreaming of the dragon. I'm Mo Zhao from JSK Robotics Lab in the University of Tokyo, and I'm the assistant professor in this lab. You know, there are lots of kind of the bio-inspired robots. People make the robot dog or robot cat. The dragon is not a real animal, but it's a kind of holy symbol in Asia. Imagine this robot like a flying human arm to do the manipulation on the air, or you can change the lamp instead of humans, or to open the door like a human arm, or you can also think this robot can transform like a snake, so it can exploration in a very narrow space. So I think this is one of kind of application in the disaster rescue.
My name is Mccann, master course student of University of Tokyo. So each link of the dragon has a small circuit board named neuron, and each board communicates each other. So by this structure, dragon can fly stably in the air.
Hello, I'm Shifan. I'm the second year master student in the University of Tokyo. Previously, my research is mainly related to this robot called Hydros. I want to make faster dynamic motion of this robot, like play table tennis. And for future work, I will work with Dragon to make more complex dynamic motion.
So there are lots of design for the air robot. But our design, we developed a very interesting mechanism called the gimbal modules. Will actively tilt the two rotors. So this is very unique in the world. I think this is the first design. And we also have a very important part is the joint part. You can see this is also the two-dimensional joint, 1 and 2. So these two important components makes the aero transformation. So people imagine the dragon for several thousand years. So I think this is the first time to create the true dragon in the world.
And this was one of the examples of research at our graduate school. You can see over there that we have people from many different areas getting together to build the world top research over here. That is for robotics, but if you are from AI, our OB is actually proposing one of the fastest neural network architectures in the world. It is called ochano, which is the original of PyTorch, the neural network libraries that is used by many top companies nowadays. If you are from mathematical side, we have proposed an algorithms that that is the fastest for mathematic multiplications back in 2015. This algorithm has already been over-recorded, but this is once the fastest algorithm in the world. That was for research. For coursework, even we are focusing a lot on research, we also have a nice set of lectures at our graduate school. About 40 of those are offered in English. So, as mentioned by Mr. Takahashi, this is totally possible to graduate from our graduate school without any knowledge in Japanese. Okay, now let me talk about the admissions to our graduate school. This is something that could be most important in my talk today. We have two types of admissions to our graduate school. This is quite important. All right. The first type of admissions is called as general admissions. To join us by these general admissions, you need to take some written examinations or programming examination. It will test you your capacity in mathematics or many specialized subjects like mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, or I don't know, physics, for example. All right. But this is a very competitive examinations. Only less than 15% of those from outer university are admitted by this general admission. But The nice thing about this general admission is you will not be discriminated by your university. You will not be discriminated by anything because we will evaluate you based on your performance at mathematics or information science written examination test. So by these general admissions, we accept students twice a year, once in May and once in November. If you apply in May, then you have to take the examination in August, and your enrollment, if you are selected, your enrollment will start from September or next April. That is going to be your choice. If you apply in November, then the examinations will be on February, and your enrollment, if you are selected, will start from April. That is the general admissions. But what I would like to talk today, what is the most important admissions that I would like to mention today is called as special admission for foreigners. This is only for non-Japanese residing outside Japan. We accept 10 to 15 students by these special admissions every year. And what is special? If you get accepted by this special admission, and you are from South Asian countries or Vietnam or Thailand, you will be prioritized to receive MEC scholarship. As mentioned probably many times during this seminar, MEC scholarships is probably one of the more generous scholarship offers in Japan. Indeed, as far as we organize these special admissions, none of accepted students from South Asia came to our university without any scholarships. They are all supported by some scholarships, and most of them are supported by MEC scholarships if they are accepted by this special admission. We are going to formally announce information about this special admission soon, on next month, probably in just 1 week, at this website, the website at this slide. And the application deadline is going to be on November. It's going to be actually at the beginning of November. And if you are accepted, the enrollment will be started from September 2022. Okay, now if you want to apply to these special admissions, what should we do? As mentioned many times in these seminars, the first step is to find the professor that you want to work with. Fortunately, we have a very good list of professors provided to you. You can search for professors which match research that you want to do, which match the research topics that you want to do in Japan. If you get to this link. This link will be provided to you after this talk. So this is the date for our last iterations of these examinations. It's going to be almost same in these iterations anyway. But on last year, the application deadline was in November the 6th. So it's going to be only about 2 months from now. I encourage you to start as soon as possible if you want to join us by this special admission. The notifications will be on late December. So what we will test you at this special admission and actually also general admissions. If you are master students, we don't care if you graduate from any other department. We don't care if you are mechanical engineers. We don't care if you are mathematicians. We don't care if you are physicists. But at the entrance examinations, at the admissions, we will test you your fundamental knowledge on information science and technologies. So yeah, if you did not graduate from information science and technologies related courses, we expect you to study by yourself before the admission. We are also expecting you to have a deep knowledge on topics that you want to study. This does not include exactly only on the topics that you want to study. For example, if you want to study on natural language processing, we do not expect you only to know natural language processing, but we also expect you to know related topics like linear algebras or I don't know, general machine learning. If you will apply for our doctoral courses, then we will test your availabilities, your capabilities on research. We will test you if you can do research on information science and technologies, including deciding your own research issue. All right, so this is going to be the selection criteria at our graduate school, both for the special admissions and the general admission. All right, that was about the admissions. This is a little bit unrelated to the admissions, but I just want to announce a related event that we will organize a research hackathon. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to work with our students. This is going to be a unique opportunity for you to work with our students for 1 week on a particular research topics listed over here. The event will be organized at the end of September from the 20th to the 24th. It will be organized 5 to 6 hours a day. The formal information about this research hackathon has not yet been introduced, has not yet been announced. But if you want to know about this research hackathon, please feel free to send us an email to this email address. We will bring you whenever the formal announcements are available. And that's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. I think we should now move to Q&A sessions. So I think I should try to pick up questions from Q&A session.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Varapong, for your enlightening presentation and for guiding the students to consider higher studies in Japan. We can now look into the Q&A box for helping students with their doubts.
Okay, yes, the first questions that I would like to pick up is the question from Mr. Suya Joshi. The question is, do University of Tokyo support entrepreneurship if students has a good idea and want to do a startup? Yes, we do have a full support on entrepreneurship. Actually, there are a lot of unicorn spin-off from our graduate school. And many of them are actually from international students. I'm not so sure, but I think one of them are from Indian students. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of possibilities for you to get in, join with Japanese students, join the entrepreneurship program. They will match you with some founders and also some business people and have you start a great companies in Japan. The next questions that I would like to pick up is the following questions. So does the University of Tokyo Informatics Department has undergrad courses on information science? We do have undergrad program in computer science. Unfortunately, this is not in English, it's in Japanese. So
in the University of Tokyo, I guess there is only one undergraduate program that is Speak in English.
Exactly. So they offer courses in environmental science and Japanese studies. This is not highly recommended, but we have an example of students who get into peak and transfer to Department of Computer Science after 2 years of studies. That is also possible, but this is not very encouraged. Yes, the next question is, I am doing my computer science and engineering courses in India, and I am in my final years. I would like to study further on how computer science be utilized for sustainable development. Yeah, actually, our graduate school have a lot of labs on the hybrid between computer science and sustainable development. We do have a lot of activities for you to join to utilize your computer science skill to sustainable development. Actually, we are now organizing one program with top universities like MIT, Stanford, EPFL, and also ETH Zurich, and also with IBM. We are launching a program with them to help students build a project to solve climate change.
Okay, one last question we will take and then we can end the Q&A session. One last question you can answer.
Okay. Yes. Is there any age limit to apply for doctoral programs in Japan? For general admissions, we do not have age limit. We do actually have a student from India that get into our department. He was about 45. At the time he get in, and he enjoyed the PhD course at our university. However, for the special admission, we have an age limit. You need to be 35 or lower at the time of admissions. So you have to be born in 1987 or younger than that. Okay, so I will take other questions after this session.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much for answering the question, Professor Vorapong. I think we can end the Q&A session for the University of Tokyo now.
Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Professor Vorapong, you can please share the important links and contact details in the chat box for helping our attendees further.
Yes, I will do it as soon as possible.
Yeah, Mr. Takahashi, can we have the agenda slide, please? So let's move on to our next presentation by Kyushu Institute of Technology. Let me give you a brief introduction about the university. Kyushu Institute of Technology is a national university in Japan located in Fukuoka Prefecture on the island of Kyushu. The university has its fundamental principle to educate people with competence of engineering since its foundation in 1909. For more than 100 years, Qtec has strived to create new technologies and industries and to produce global engineers and advanced technologies. So now I would like to invite Professor Shibata from Graduate School of Life Science and System Engineering at Qtec to share us an insight into the university. Professor Shibata, kindly please proceed.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your kind introduction section, Ms. Roy. Please, I'm using I'm not going to share the window, so please pin to my window and enlarge it. Sorry, everybody, can you do it, please? Yes. So let me start. Yes. So actually, so you saw the movie of Tokyo University and regarding JSK, robotics research. And actually, I am an alumnus of JSK, so it's glad to hear, watch the movie. So, and I was going back to my hometown, Fukuoka Prefecture, and I became a professor of Kyushu Institute of Technology. And now you see a lot of titles, and the most important thing today is this: the governing additional member of the Robotics Society of India. So actually, I was the executive board member of the Robotics Society of Japan, and tied two societies, Indian Society and Japanese Society, and built and push them, my friends, to build the Robotics Society of India. So that's why I've been working with them for many years. And so actually my background is robotics, AI, brain science, and the outlet is medical welfare. And I collaborated a lot of companies and institutes, and even foreign institutes. So this shows the lab member of mine. So what I want to say is we are global, and my laboratory is really diverse. They are from 8 nationalities, including India, of course, and 3 female students, and 1 medical doctor and 1 nurse. Actually, 1 medical doctor, she has just got a PhD, and she's leaving for Russia and China later. So, so if you are interested in robotics and also healthcare, so Shibata Laboratory, I'm doing a lot of different types of things according to the, the different phases in your abilities and also in your life. And today, so we are going to have some talk from JST. And thanks for the JST, I had a good collaboration with Professor Ashish Datta of IIT Kanpur. And we run a cooperative JST DST strategic cooperative program for 5 years. And we exchanged people, faculty members and students. So at that time, I was an associate professor of Nara Institute of Science and Technology. So I lived in Nara, and I invited, this is them, and this is Professor Behera and Professor Ashishi and Anupam Saxena. So so we had a good collaboration. Of course, sorry. So today I haven't prepared well for the research issue in this program, but I really thank JST to give me such opportunity. And you see, this is the picture taken at the Holi in some year. And so this is IIT Kanpur, and 4 female students are actually smiling and approaching me to color me like this. So yeah, and actually, as I told you, I am the governing council additional member of the Robotics Society for many years. So this year I gave a talk on robots for assisted living already, for their webinar, right, by TRS. So if you are interested in my talk, please check screenshot this QR code, then it brings you to my webinar recorded. And also I need to advertise, we are really good at robotics and intelligent robotics. And this is Toyota's service robot. And by using, so this is a platform, world platform, standard platform for service robotics. And our student circle won the first prize 3 times in 2017 and 18. So if you are interested in, in this direction, please, join our university. So think about it. And this is one of the, very popular studies, famous studies. And this is a dressing robot, actually. And this is featured by media a lot. And if you're interested in this study, please visit this using this QR code. And actually, this is Dr. Joshi. So my latest alumnus who joined after graduation, after graduating IIT DMJ. And I have one from IIT Delhi. And also I had another student IIT, and he's working for a startup company in Aichi. So he's really happily working in Japan, keep working in Japan. And also another alumnus from IIT. So he's Sanjay Duvivedi, and Dr. Duvivedi is working for Hitachi in Tokyo, right? So there are a lot of opportunities for you if you join my laboratory or my Qtec, and you have chance to get degrees and also got very good jobs. And I have already checked, but if you don't notice it, please screenshot this so you can download the handout from this QR code. Okay, so I need to quickly go through. Yeah, so this is Kyushu Island that, as Ms. Roy, so kindly introduced, and this is Tokyo, okay, and 1.5 hour flight, so it takes only 1.5 hours, okay, and and we have around 1 million people, and we have 3 campuses. And actually, I'm from this graduate school. So basically speaking, I don't have undergraduate students. And there are 3 campuses. I need to stress again, so Qtec is a national university. So tuition fees are really cheap because of national university. It's the same level with Tokyo University, okay? And Kyushu, living in Kyushu is much, so inexpensive compared to Tokyo. Sorry, Tokyo University alumni, sorry, but it's really cheaper. But the level of, so award given by MEXT, so if you join MEXT, if you are selected as a member of our MEXT scholarship programs, then the award level is exactly the same. So if you live in Tokyo, it should be expensive. If you live in Kyushu or Fukuoka City, it's really inexpensive. I need to stress. And I'm from this one. And the Kyushu city is also famous. So thank Ms. Roy already explained some history of long history of our institute. Suddenly this is not working, sorry. I need to stress this company. Do you know this Yasukawa Electric Co.? This is a very famous world-class, top-level industrial robot, industrial robot companies. They are selling almost the best in the world regarding industrial robots. Okay, so the headquarters is in Kyushu City. That's why we have been collaborating. Qtec largely, has been collaborating with this company. So actually, this founder is from Yasukawa family of Qtec. Okay, so this slide shows that our academic programs, we have 3 campuses, and I'm from here. Okay, this graduate school, and you see, so there are many different, courses are there. And as I chat, if you are interested in space system engineering, Qtec must be one of the good candidates, and they have next scholarship course too. And they have launched a lot of nano satellites. I think the number is the best in the world. So if you're interested in launching the satellite and building the satellite and launching the satellite, so then please consider our school. Anyway, so if you're interested in computer science, of course, so you can study it in this campus also, and also in our campus. Okay, so compared with other universities, big universities, we are small. Although we are national university, right? So we are really small. And the QS World Ranking is not that good, to be honest. But of course, it's not just this is one in the index, but we are, we have very good faculty members. So please check our faculty member, then you might be able to find out very interesting, faculty members. And this shows our, so English homepage. Okay, and if you go to academics research and academic research staff, right? Yeah, then you can look for some suitable, your supervisor, potentially your supervisor. Okay. And yeah, this should be okay. Okay. So anyway, so employability is really good, the best in Japan actually, and we have lots of joint research with industries, and also we have in good numbers of venture companies. If you're interested in venture companies, so Kyushu City is one of the good places. Okay, so so if we are interested in employment in Japan, see, there are so many, so we have the #1 record, and you can see so many good companies. But if you're interested in also starting us, launching a startup company, so we will help you. We are already in really a good global, among Institute of Technologies in Japan, we are the best, sending Japanese students to the world, actually. And also, of course, we are exchanging people. And you must be interested in enrollment fee and tuitions and other fees. Please download the handout and check this slide. And if you are interested in scholarships, except master scholarship courses, then please also, you can check this scholarship. Actually, so this scholarship is not solely for a Qtec. So this is quite general information. So this slide must be quite helpful for you. even if you are interested in other universities. Okay. Okay, so this shows the homepage of our graduate school, the Graduate School of Life Science and Systems Engineering. And again, here, this is I pasted the QR code. So please visit this homepage. And we have two departments for a master's course and one department for the doctoral course. Okay, and yeah, sorry. And we are so close to the sea. Okay, and we also close to a good mountaineers too. So so the environment is really good. And also in this campus, we are in Kyushu Science and Research Park. So there are other universities, Kyushu City University and also Waseda Graduate School, one Waseda Graduate School, and we are collaborating. So this Science and Research Park is good. And this is our campus, I mean, graduate school. And we are close to the sea. And we are so close to, it's walking distance to Costco, right? So so international students are happy, you know, they really want to come here, visit here and buy even vegetarian food also too. Okay, so due to the time limitation, I just want to explain the two mixed scholarship courses and emphasize this scholarship course actually, because I've been managing this scholarship course. And this is Advanced Assistive Robotics course, okay? And please, you know, if you please screenshot this QR code, this brings to the homepage of this course, okay? So if you are interested in robotics and also related fields, you know, so robotics is a quite integrated field. So if you are interested in, you know, circuit control electronics, sensing, nanosystems, artificial intelligence, IoT systems, blah, blah, blah. Even if you're interested in behavioral science and neuroscience, so we have good faculty members for this course. And another one is from another department that I belong. It's called Global Green Energy and Electronics course. Okay, again here, this is a QR code. And if you're interested in printable photovoltaic cells, functional materials, and their chemical devices, organic electronic devices, blah, 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 right? Then please check this site. Yeah. Okay, so both courses are consisting of not only mixed scholarships supported students, but also privately financed students and also Japanese students. And for privately financed students, you can find some scholarships, you know, except mixed scholarships. And also many faculty members, you know, so have very good grants to partly support financially you. So contact, you know, find good faculty members. I mean, suitable faculty members suitable for your research interest, and you know, so contact them. Feel free to contact them. Sorry, the green screen is not working very well. Okay, so as I told you, so we have joint graduate school course, the title Car Electronics course and the Intelligent Car Robotics course, and with Waseda University and Kyushu City University, and with companies like Toyota, including Toyota and Nissan. Okay, and please just feel some impressions what they are studying, and yeah. Okay, and we also have a good, in our campus, a graduate school, we also have a very good facility, and that's called Smart Life Care Preparation Laboratory. So it consists of a prototyping zone and evaluation zone. And so I mean, this is for care innovation, including robotics and also IoT. Okay. So here, so I just, again, want to emphasize my, you know, the global AAR course that I'm managing, okay? And again, so please, this is the same QR code, but if you're interested in, please check. And here, you know, so features of a global AAR course is written, and the scholarship for this course is here. And this year also, I will call for applicants. Maybe it will start from this November or October. So please check this site. Or I'm running, you know, managing a lot of SNSs like Facebook and Twitter. So you can follow my Facebook and Twitter also. Okay. And the features of the global AAR course. What is AAR actually? It's advanced assistive robotics. So as I told you, it's quite diverse, multidisciplinary. Okay, like this. And course contents are English compatible classes, journal club to read latest papers, and AAR seminars with top-notch lecturers, and practicum in robot operating system. So please look at the handout for so the courses to get degree, master's degree, and also doctoral degree. And so finally, I just want to show this slide. So what we are teaching, so what you can learn in this practicum course. It's about robot operating system. So if you are interested in intelligent robotics, we have this kind of robot, and also Toyota's HS human support robot. And you can study ROS to make this kind of robot quite intelligent, autonomous, right? Okay. Yeah, they are studying together. And we also have journal club. Yes, yeah. Okay, so I think that's all. Thank you very much. I think it's almost time. So we have also 2 minutes, but it's almost time. Thank you very much for listening. And please check, if you're interested in my laboratory, please check this QR code. And also please visit, so this, the homepage of YouTube channel of Smart Life Care Corporation Laboratory, because I have time to explain it. Okay, thank you very much for listening. And arigato, Danya, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sensei, for such an informative and interesting presentation. Now, we'll just begin with the Q&A session. Would you like to answer any specific question that are there in the Q&A box?
Would you select some questions?
Okay, I would select for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Does Qtec have master's course in urban design planning?
Urban design planning, yeah, kind of, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same with what you said, but yeah, there are some department for construction, and please check if there is urban design or not. I'm sorry.
One of the students is asking that he have completed his graduation in electronics, and it was 3-year graduation course. So can he apply for the master's in the Qtec? 3
years.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So there is a chance actually. Yeah, but usually, so such a yeah, so different. So we here in Japan, so it should be 4. So so you need to apply for some special so preliminary examination about your eligibility. So there is such a process, and we need to identify if you are eligible or not. So for example, for example, this year I'm going to have a French student, and such system, educational system in terms of years is totally, different in France and Japan. So so we had such a examination, preliminary examination to check his eligibility, and we found it's eligible. So yeah, so there is a chance. Please contact if you are really interested in us, Qtec. Don't hesitate to contact me and keep discussing.
Yeah, since as we have mixed participants, so some students are asking, are there any undergraduate programs available in English in Qtec?
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I don't have. We don't have it. We don't have it. So graduate schools are totally, so in graduate schools you don't need to be proficient, in Japanese. But unfortunately, undergraduate school, many of them are Japanese. That's why we need to, yeah.
All right.
We are not giving English courses. Sorry.
Is Toefl or Ielts required for applying for master's program?
Not really actually, but and also the system. So examination system, how to evaluate is different from graduate school by graduate school. So you need to check. But for example, in our graduate school case, so we are interested in your TOEFL score, and I mean it's like interviews, right? It's like interviews, and we need to interview you via English. So that's why. So if your communicability is okay for that kind of examination, it's okay. And but to apply for the mixed scholarship course, mixed strictly imposes so some indexes. One is indices. One is English proficiency or Japanese proficiency. So CEFR, I mean, for English, there is a world standard index called CEFR, CEFR, I think. And your score should be B2 or higher. And if you are good at Japanese, that's also good. And in that case, your score should be JLPT and N2 or N1. So if you're interested in applying mixed scholarship course, be careful about your language proficiency.
All right. Are there any master's program in bioscience and bioinformatics?
Bioinformatics. Yes. So I mean, in our department also, in our graduate school, so there is such a faculty member, but maybe in another campus, in Iizuka campus, so there are 3 campuses, and Iizuka campus. Sorry, I cannot show it very quickly. Yes, I think so.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for answering the questions, Professor Shibata.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, you can please share the important links and contact details in the chat box for the reference of the attendees.
Yes, Dhanyawad. Thank you.
Dhanyawad. Yeah. Can we have the agenda slide, please? Thank you. Let's move forward to our next presentation by Ochano University. Ochano University is a women's university in Tokyo and is considered to be one of the top national universities in Japan. The university is very popular and occupies high position in the national ranking. So I'm going to hand things over to Ms. Hagiwara from Center for International Education to share us an insight into the university.
Hello, thank you for your introduction. Welcome to All About Autonomy's University session today. I'm Akiko Hagiwara from the Center for International Education at Autonomy's University. I'll talk about the overview and the characteristics of the university. Autonomy's University has established in 1875. It was founded as Tokyo Women's Normal School, specializing in training female educators. Currently, nearly 3,000 students are enrolled, including undergraduate and graduate students. The university consists of 3 faculties and 1 graduate school. The origin of the name Ochanomizu comes from the name of a location in Tokyo. Ocha, by the way, means tea, and mizu means water. We usually call ourselves Ochadai. Ochadai currently locates here in Otsuka. As you see in this picture, the campus is full of greenery. The university's mission is to support all women, regardless of age or nationality, in protecting their dignity and rights. The goal is to develop students' unique qualities and capabilities and assist their learning in satisfying their intellectual appetites. As a pioneer of women's education in Japan, we offer programs that focuses on these three areas. Let's move on. According to the World University Rankings in 2021, Autonomous University places in the top 25 out of 278 universities in Japan. The engagement criteria indicate student satisfaction with interactions between teachers and students and opportunity for collaborative learning. In this category, our university has the highest satisfaction amongst women's universities. One of the unique features of our education is a small student-teacher ratio. This small ratio enables students to engage in discussions actively and seeks advice from professors. Students can take advantage of this academic environment, particularly in the specialized education curriculum through small seminars, research on labs, and practical training. Another prominent feature of our program is the integration of humanities and sciences. Students may combine different programs that fit their academic objectives. In 2008, we reformed the traditional liberal arts education and started the 21st century liberal arts, the integration of humanities and sciences. The following 5 areas present our new curriculums that are developed to raise students' cross-disciplinary viewpoints. This slide represents Autonomous University's educational structure. The university has 3 faculties and 14 courses for undergraduate studies. Autonomous University adopts multiple elective programs. Students can combine core programs, specialty programs, sub-programs, and interdisciplinary programs to acquire in-depth knowledge according to their needs. Autonomous University has one graduate school consisting of 6 different fields of courses. Each master's and doctoral program aim to foster young researchers who intend to take a leading role in academic research and utilize their expertise in society. In 2018, Autonomous University established 6 years academic track to connect undergraduate departments with graduate schools. Around half of undergraduates move on to graduate school. Around 16% of students proceed to doctoral programs. Now let me introduce our unique curriculums. In 2019, Autonomous University implemented a gender studies curriculum that allows learning gender, sexuality-related studies systematically. In 2020, data science studies were implemented into the curriculum to satisfy students who wish to learn data science, such as statistics, regression analysis, and other related studies. From here, I'd like to talk about the international aspect of Autonomous University. We emphasize international education for globalization and have 84 partner universities around the world. Every summer, we offer an intensive program taught in English and invite students from overseas partner universities. The summer program provides a unique opportunity for Ochadai Japanese students and overseas students to take the same course and work together. Our history of international exchange started in 1903. Autonomous University admitted 4 female students from Thai and developed a unique curriculum for their education. 3 of them completed their education in March 1907. After their return to Thailand, they promoted and actively engaged with women's education in Thailand. Career education is also an essential part of our mission. We encourage students to connect with a career support center. They offer workshops and career fairs to help students acquire the skills necessary to pursue their careers. The graphs illustrate undergraduates' career path after graduation. Most of them work for a private company, a government office, and the education sector of an organization. Quite a few international students seek employment in Japan after graduation, and most of them successfully find a job in Japan. The Career Support Center offers assistance in selecting a career from a long-term perspective. They often hold a seminar for non-Japanese students and provide job-related information that satisfies their needs. They also offer JASO Honored Scholarship for privately financed international students who are job hunting in Japan, and they receive 48,000 yen per month if selected. Now, I'd like to show a movie that one of the current students created. This movie is a perfect way to learn about daily life at Autonomous University. I hope you'll enjoy watching this movie. Let me start. ります。入ります。キャストで。はよそうだよね。今日大変だった。予習が。教室はこんな感じです。私は今日サークル。17時から。私も席に座ります。Okay, now let's move on. Ochanomizu University has various educational facilities such as language study commons, auditorium, student service building, library, etc. The library has a collection of approximately 700,000 books and 11,000 e-journals. Most students say that the library is the most comfortable place on campus. International Student Plaza opened in 2019. This brand new facility stands as the new symbol of Ochanomizu University. It is a center for students to participate in international exchange, community contribution, and in undergraduate intergenerational interaction between alumni associations, teaching staff, and students. For language studies, Ochanomizu University offers language study commons. All students and teaching staff can study more than 52 foreign languages and reach out to people worldwide. A new dormitory is under construction and it will open in April 2022. The dorm room is very safe and affordable. There are a variety of scholarships for students who wish to study at Ochanomizu University. We also offer scholarships and various student support. For detailed information on student support, please refer to our website. we're gonna show you the links to our website very soon. This is our undergraduate admission procedure. We have a special entrance examination for international students. Application is accepted in December, but the entrance examination is scheduled for February. Please check our website for details. So here are frequently asked questions. Now, most of the information I provided you today is found in this link. So we're gonna send you this link. So most information is here, so please check. For more information, you are welcome to access our website. So for admission here, and if you have any specific questions, you are welcome to send email here to admission divisions. So this is end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hagiwara, for your presentation. It was very incredible and informative and interesting presentation. So now we can start the Q&A session for 5 minutes, and there are a few questions in the Q&A box. I request the panelists of Ochano University to please go through and pick up questions one by one. Can I help you to pick up question?
Yes, please.
Okay, sure. Are there any PhD program in public accounting in Ochano University?
Oh, no, unfortunately, no.
Okay. Is there any one-year course in the university short-term programs?
Yes, but that's for only for students with in partner universities.
All right. Does Ochano University have a master's program in data science?
Yes. Yeah, there are many professors who can teach in English.
Okay. Is there any LLM program in Ochano University? I guess he is some law program.
Law program?
Related to law.
One moment. Oh, I'm sorry. At this point, I am not able to provide exact information, but if you can send us email, of course, we are very happy to answer. I am very sorry.
All right. Are there any programs related to renewable energy?
I think so, but one moment, please. Oh, yes, we have. Yeah. And probably you can find the information at the, in, one moment. You should be able to find the information here. I'm sorry, there's so many information, so it's very difficult for me to pinpoint very soon, but you should be able to find it. And once again, if you want to know more about the program, please send us email.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Hagiwara, for your time and for guiding the students. And for all our attendees, in case if you have any further doubts, you can directly contact the Ochano University. And again, I request Ms. Hagiwara to please share the important links and the contact details in the chat box for students.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much once again. Can we have that in the slide? Yes. Okay, we can now move on to our final presentation of the day by Japan Science and Technology Agency. JST is an affiliated organization to MEX. They invite young talented people from different countries and regions to Japan through Sakura Science Exchange Program in a collaboration of industry, academia, and government. So let's understand about their offerings through a presentation by our expert panelist, Mr. Nishikawa, an advisor for international relation and cooperation at Japan Science and Technology Agency.
Okay, can I start? Okay, thank you very much for having me here today. All right, yeah, this one. Okay. Today, I'm going to talk about a program, invitation program to Japan. So for those people who stayed until this time, maybe you may be lucky. JST, Japan Science and Technology Agency, started a program called Sakura Science Plan, our program, in the year 2014. By the way, JST comes under directly under the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. We are one of the largest research funding agency in Japan. And then this is an office in India, New Delhi. We started, actually I set up this office in New Delhi 2015, in the year 2015, together with University of Tokyo. So we shared office in New Delhi. This is right location, just north to the Deer Park, which is very close to IIT Delhi Department of Science and Technology and JNU. So it's one of the best location. And then we do carry on the joint research programs with India and other countries. For example, these are the programs. Well, just example, you know. In the field of ICT, Information Communication Technology. For example, this one, University of Tokyo and in IIT Bombay. And this second program, University of Tokyo and IIT Hyderabad. And the third program is being done Kyushu University and IIT. There, I think 6 joint research program is right now going on with India. And then come back to the Sakura Science Program. We just called it SSP or Sakura Science Program. So this is a program, short-term introductory invitation program. Maximum period is 3 weeks. So we would like to invite people from outside Japan and then show them around in Japan and let them see the top notch, get to know Japan. I'm sure they will like it. And then they started with 13 countries and developed into 14 countries. But now, starting this year, we decided to include all countries around the world. And also, this used to be the program for only the engineering science stream students or researchers. But now, starting this year, we opened up this program to cover the people in the field of humanities and social sciences. So I think all the university or most of the students are eligible but to come to Japan by this program. So 8%, over 8% is carried out under this open application. Or the host schools or host organizations in Japan, for example, high schools, research institutes, private companies, and so on. they become the applicant of this program and then make up a program and apply to us. And then this is a procedure application. We received the receiving organization in Japan. They submitted to us, and then after evaluation, we award the programs, some of the programs, and then we provide the expenses for this invitation program. And then there are certain limitation in, for example, age-wise. So you should be above 50 and below. Actually, but if you are eligible, high school means in class 10, 11, 12, for example, in India. And then, of course, you have to be a very good student. You have to be a with high performer for high grades and scores. And then what is you haven't stayed in Japan before. Because this program is meant for the first comer, first visitor to Japan. But if you just visit Japan for a couple of weeks, but as a tourist, that's all right. You don't have to work. For example, for 1 year or so, then you are not eligible, unfortunately. This is just example. For example, of the implementation of the program. University of Tokyo invited 10 computer science students from, for example, IIT Delhi to Madras, 2019. They are engaged in some short joint research programs at the University of Tokyo. So this type of program can be, so 10 students visit Japan by program from India. And then, yeah, these are the, there are many, so let's skip this program. Yeah. So there are many Japanese universities who have already have experience by using this program. For example, #1 university in terms of the total number of invitees, Miyazaki University invited over 750 people from in the last 6 years. And then #2, Okayama University, Osaka University, Tokyo Metropolitan University, Shibaura Institute of Technology, Kyushu, Qtec, Kyushu Institute of Technology also comes to #6, and University of Tokyo comes under in #7, and Kumamoto, Kyushu, and so on. These are all very famous universities in Japan. So they are the receiving organizations. So this is our total overview. Total number of invitees for the last 6 years. It started in 2014, and then last year there's nobody due to COVID-19 invited to Japan. But up to for the last 6 years, over 33,000 people from total 641 countries. #1 country is China, over 10,000, and #2 Thailand, and India #3, and Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, and so on. So compared with considering the number of total students, maybe I should say India should come to at least #2 or even #1 in the number of invitees. So we are ready to invite more people from India and around surrounding countries. And then for those people who come to Japan by this program, automatically become the alumni member, that is Sakura Science Club. And then we have some of the students who visited Japan by this program. For example, this girl from Tamil Nadu, she entered the University of Tokyo last year. And I want another boy student from the same high school in this. He was successful in entering Hokkaido University this year. So for those people who have, we had the first alumni meeting, India alumni meeting in 2018, October. This is a Japanese ambassador's official residence. We had this first meeting in New Delhi, and he was the ambassador at that time, and he's the main guest from India. That is Professor Vijay Raghavan. He is a principal scientific officer to the government. He's a top scientist in India, so I'm sure you know. And then at that time, we selected the coordinators. The chief coordinator or main coordinator, or I should say president of the Alumni Association for India, is Dr. Jitendra Chu. He's an assistant professor of ISA Pune. He's managing this alumni very actively. So we are very happy to. And also some other supporting coordinators were also selected. But now currently we have about 10 coordinators working together to have maintained the network of the alumni. The second alumni meeting was held in February 2020, just before the COVID-19 started. This is held at Ielts. I'm here, the people who joined this meeting, alumni meeting. And then third meeting for India was held in this year, May this year, but this was only online because nobody can come to Japan or we cannot go to India. So, but we had very successfully held this program with many very prestigious guests, honorable guests. He is this person on the top. He is Dr. Jitendra Chu. He's a main coordinator, and this is myself, and he's an ambassador of Japan, and he is ambassador, His Excellency, ambassador of India in Japan. And the bottom here, he's a director of University of Tokyo, India, Mr. Miyauchi. He also joined. And then, for example, second, also we had an alumni meeting in Sri Lanka as well. This is in 2019, February. We had this kind of alumni meeting in each country. For example, in Vietnam and Malaysia, Indonesia and Thailand, those countries, we also had formed this alumni association and started this meeting since 2019. This is we had this in Japan because the students who visited Japan by Sakura, they again came to Japan to study in Japan for higher study, higher education in Japan. So we had this alumni meeting in Japan. And then I should say the most important thing, if you want to come to Japan by this program, you have to find the partner, applicant, host organization in Japan. So if you are a student of university student, you speak to your professor and I request him or persuade him to tie up with some Japanese universities and come to Japan by this program. And if you're a high school student, you speak to your teacher and your principal. And also same, likewise, try to find the partner, best partner in Japan and come to Japan by this Sakura Science. I'm sure if you have 1 year, that should be enough to find a good partner in Japan and request them to participate. I may submit proposal to JST and we are ready to accept good proposals from the Japanese applicant. So come to Japan. Let's see. I hope to see you in Japan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nishikawa, for your presentation. In case anyone who would like to contact JST for any queries, please feel free to contact the agency. Thank you very much once again. And this leads to the end of the webinar. I would like to thank all of the presenters for sharing their insight with us. For all attendees, thank you for making time to sit through all of the presentation. It was so engaging, educative, and fulfilling because of your presence. The recordings of our webinar series are available on our website, so please keep an eye out for that. Also, please keep checking our social media pages and our website for future webinar updates. If you still have questions, please feel free to shoot us an email. Have an amazing day, work hard to catch your dreams, and I wish you all the best for your future. Thank you.
Thank you.